What's going on, guys? My name is D'Anthony with evolutiontraders.com. I want to go over a little bit of a strategy that honestly today really helped me stay a lot more patient. Now, there was about 4 or 5 futures traders in the live stream with me on Evolution Traders, and everyone today was profitable. I'm looking at profits here on 2 accounts, $220, $280. We have my earnings, 204 on one, 306 on another, and 319 on another. We had another trader up around $70 times 8 accounts, which is very, very nice. We had another trader up 172, 209, 209, and 210. So again, today's moral of the story was just staying a little bit more patient. Now, I was kind of, browsing around social media, and I kind of seen some people talking about, today's a chop day. Today, the market's not really doing too much. Look at the market is in a period right now of constantly buying up anything that pulls back, right? So any little pullback, everyone's looking to kind of jump short. What's happening is it's kind of consolidating. They're getting trapped, and it's putting in these, like slow grind highs, right? So let's just kind of get into the strategy of what I was looking for here today. Now, in my honest opinion, I still think the market can pull back. It needs a little bit more of a bigger back test, more of a bigger consolidation, so we can see a bigger run up. But again, we cannot fight the trend on what's going on here. So what I'm looking at here is 2 charts, right? And this is kind of how I was monitoring my trades today. I'm looking at the 1-hour chart on the left. I'm looking at the 5-minute chart on the right. Now I'm monitoring and managing my trades on the right hand side, which is the 5-minute, but I'm looking for my entries based on this 1 hour. And what I want to kind of tell you guys is when you start to do that, when you start to take these larger time frames and you start to look at areas of supply and demand, you're going to get a lot more clarity than just chasing this random wick higher, and then it pulls all the way back, and then it's pushing up to supply again, and then pulls all the way back. You kind of don't know where essentially the market is going when you're trading the smaller time frames. So what I would recommend everyone to do is monitor the 1-hour time frame. For example, look at the 1st hour candle here, right? So if I look at this 1st hour candle, I'm going to draw a line so you guys can see which one I'm talking about. So in today's live stream, what I was talking about for that first 30 minutes, even 35, 45 minutes, what I was saying was we were in a little bit of a range. There was a little bit of a disconnect. We had some stocks sinking off the bell. Tesla, for example, was dropping. Apple was dropping off the bell. But then you had other things that were extremely strong. Affirm was extremely strong. Roku was extremely strong. Shopify was strong. Amazon was strong. AMD came out of the gates hot. So when you have a little bit of that disconnect, the last thing you're really looking for is to just jump on those shorts right off the open. So by looking at this 1st hour candle here, we can see this is a big kind of no direction candle. We got a big wick to the downside, a big wick to the upside. What I was telling the guys here is that if we do start to lose this 967, this 200-day moving average on a 1-hour time frame, we got a lot of space down. This is the trade that I want to be in short, not trying to short in this body candle here or this body wick here. That's not where I want to take my short positions. I want to take my short positions on a higher time frame, right? Example, the 1-hour time frame, when we're losing an area of support that has a lot of potential down. So what I was looking for was the confirmation of these highs. Okay, so after the first 30 minutes of the market, as soon as we get that 2nd hour candle to confirm, we went from a price of 16,038 all the way up to a price of 52. Now, I want to show you quickly what happened on this particular trade, because as soon as we took out those 1st hour highs, I went long here. Now you can see, I'm going to bring my little my tool here, right? I hope you guys can see this line. But if you notice this line here, right, this is the candle that I jumped in when we started to confirm those 1st hour highs. Now, one thing that we did have here is we had this 5-minute supply zone, this linear regression. As soon as I got in, I quickly went up about 10 points, and then immediately it pulled back on me for about 15 minutes. It's in this point in time here when you need to reference the 1 hour time frame, because many traders, if you don't know what's going on the larger time frames, this pullback makes you want to get out. But because I'm looking at the 1 hour time frame, we've already cleared out the supply zone. We've already put in that high. We've confirmed it. We're well above, you know, any significant level of support that we could necessarily lose. That's going to cause any bit of pain. This pullback is nothing more than just a back test to shake out those weak playing hands. So again, even though it did put me in a little bit of a drawdown here, I've got the 50 SMA, the 20 SMA, as well as, you know, some of these bigger ones, the 100 EMA and the 100 SMA. I let this pull back. I told myself, as long as we kind of stay over this area here, we don't really lose the 5 or 10 day moving average on the 1 hour time frame, this trade is a good to go hold. So as we hold here, we get a nice little pop. We second time test this high of day here, and then we pull back once more. Now, again, it took a lot longer than I would have liked for this trade to get going, but one of the levels that we were looking at here, and you can notice on my screen, it's still here, is at 16,050. Now, if you notice the 16,050, it's right here around this area. So look at the top here, right? Just going to kind of draw a box here so you can see. Look at the top here, look at the tops here, and look at where we start to take out this 650 mark, right? So you can see that as soon as we start to break out, that's when the market starts to get trending. And as we just broke out of this 1650, I just quickly sold on this wick up here. Could have held it for a little bit longer and squeezed more juice out of that, but I added to my position a little bit, re-entered when we cleared the 650, took a little bit of a piece of the pie there, and I ended up catching a short on the way down later on as well. And that short that I ended up taking, I want to give you guys a little bit of reference, because if you guys are looking at these hourly candles, notice the 1, 2, 3, 4 hours higher. Notice the blow off top that we have here at 10 a.m. Notice how we come back down and back test this rising 5 SMA. Well, what do you think is going to happen, right, if price action starts to confirm the previous hour's low that also is losing the 5 SMA? If you believe in the theory of stocks are going to go from supply to supply and demand to demand, then when we confirm the bottom wick here on the 1 hour time frame, we can also take this short and take this into the next area of demand, which was at 16,028 from an entry price of around 16,043. So we're looking at almost 20 points here. Now it does go down lower, but again, that would be a new trade, or you would have to be holding runners from support to support to support, so forth and so forth. But again, one thing that I want to emphasize is that watch the bigger time frames. It's going to make you be a lot more patient. It's going to force you to kind of wait for trades to come into your lap, instead of constantly just chasing this big wick here, selling out here, trying to short here, getting stopped out here, taking a stab at this high of day, getting stopped out here, taking another stab at high of day, getting stopped out again, trying to short, thinking the market's going to reverse, getting trapped here. Do you see what I'm kind of saying when you start to look at these little 5-minute candles, and you know, people who trade the 1 minute and the 2 minute as well, it's the same kind of scenario. You tend to lose track of where the flow is going for the day, right? Versus on the 1 hour chart, you can clearly see that we're above all of this supply here and on a clear visible uptrend. So it's easy to kind of buy these bounces into supports versus trying to short, right? So for example, if you don't know that we're still above all the supply, you could have traders trying to short this position on the way down, when this is nothing more than just a pullback into rising support for another bit of a bounce, a little bit of a retest, and then we get that finally get that continuation. So again, the strategy that has helped me as of late with my futures trading is to keep that 1 hour time frame up, as well as what I use to manage my trades, which is the 5-minute time frame. And then from there, see the best possible scenarios when we do confirm long or short of a previous hour candle's high or low. Now, again, we can't just say, well, hey, we took out the previous hour's high, so I'm going to go long. We took out the previous hour's low, so I'm going to go long. You definitely have to have space. So for example, in this particular situation here, let's kind of make up a generic scenario. You can see how this 7 a.m. candle here is resting at this 10-day moving average. If let's say this 8 a.m. candle confirms that, we only have room down to 993 from a price of 16,000. That's 7 points on a macro overview on that 1 hour time frame. This is not something that I'm going to want to short. I need to get below all demand zones where I have space to kind of work my way in there. Does that make sense? So again, not every trade you can take, but what that's going to do is force you to be a little bit more disciplined. Okay, so be a little bit more disciplined and you're going to have a lot more success. Again, I hope this helps you guys. If you guys want to trade with me each and every single day live and get access to the courses, the one-on-one mentorship, the watch list, the live trading webinars, I am running a little bit of a discount here for Cyber Monday. You can find that link down in the description box below, and I'll see all of you guys in the next one.